Hey guys, it's John back inside the Vintage Geek's toy room, and we're taking a look at my speeder bikes, the vintage, the re-release, and the Power of the Force stuff in the '90s, and one other kind of weird speeder bike. Plus, we got this Force Awakens one that we never got to see in the movie for some reason. All in my little display there. Today we're going to take a look at the pink Bossk. Yes, the Oritet Russian pink Bossk. Is this a bootleg? Is this a variant? I don't know. But first, let's talk about Laura Legends. You got to go over and check her channel out if you haven't already. I know a lot of you guys watch her stuff, but she is a superstar, and her videos are awesome. Her collection is incredible, and she just seems really, really cool. So you should check her out. It's awesome stuff over there, you know? Pink Bossk, here we go. It's got him standing next to the release, the real release of Bossk. And on the surface, they look pretty much the same, don't they? But let's get into the details. Check out the head sculpts. Are they identical? I don't know. Were these made on the same mold as the legend goes? I don't know. Look at the head sculpt, the ridges, the little bumps where the, I don't know, ears might be. I don't know, little horns on top of his head. Something's different about these two head sculpts. It could just be that the release is painted and we're just looking at like paint shine and gloss compared to the pink one, but I don't know. I think there's some slight differences there. Look at the chest piece here. The chest piece is pretty much the same. It's really going to be hard to tell because it's all pink compared to that, but you can see a lot of the detail in that chest piece that's on the original release. The belt, the little tubes and everything, but look at the waist. The waist part where the legs connect is a lot thinner on the pink one than it is on the release, and the legs are thicker on the pink one where they attach to the waist than they are on the original release. The hands, look at the arms and hands. The arms have scales on the release version, where on the pink version those scales are really soft. They're almost like dots. Same with the feet, and the feet are a lot longer on the original release than the pink version. The pink version has really short like ankle parts and, you know, little stubby little toes. The stubby little toes look about the same. If you just painted nails on them, they'd probably look the same. Interesting. The back of Bossk here, we got the same ridges down the back of the head, so that looks about the same. That makes me think the head sculpts are pretty close. You know, it could just be different molds sent to different parts of the world, you know. The back has the tubes, the belt looks the same, but there we go again. Look at this, where the waist attaches to the legs, or the legs attach to the waist, whatever you want to call it. The legs are really thin, where those legs are really thick, and the waist part is thin, where on the release it's really thick. You get it? And look at the feet. You can see the little black belt with the bullet things in it. That's way up there, and there's no little nodules, the dew claws, on the pink one. They're just little bumps, if anything. So the feet are definitely different. The hands there look about the same. The knobs, I mean, if you painted that little knob like a claw, it'd look identical almost. At least the shape of them anyways, but not the detail work on them. The scales are pretty much gone on his hands and feet. And the feet are different in length, which is weird. The weapons, we'll take a quick look at the long rifle. It looks to be a bit washed out. The tan one up here, that is the pink one, and this goes with the actual release version. And you can see that the release version has a lot more detail. Look at the strap where it connects to the back of the gun. You know, the strap itself is like round, where it's more of like a strap on the silver gun. And then the little pistol, you can see a lot more detail in the silver release version than you can in the tan pink Bossk version. It's almost like they put these guns in clay or something and made a mold of them and then used that to make the guns. It's like they because these guns are a lot different. I mean, look at the strap on the rifle. Look at the detail work in the pistol and the front end of the gun there on the blaster. It's just totally different. And then another difference in the figure is my arms and legs are really stiff, so I'm not really going to move them that much, but they do move like a 5 POA. But you got the arms that twist and the feet that twist, which you do not have that feature in the original. The arms do not twist. They do not move like that. And the feet do not move like that. They don't. They just move at the 5 POA joints. They don't actually twist at the feet. So that, again, is another difference, which says they didn't use the same mold. There's a different mold technique going on because that thing moves, you know. Why does that move? You know, pretty interesting. The feet, yeah, pretty interesting. So the story behind this, the legend says that in Russia, I'm assuming Oritet, Russia, that's named after the town it was made in, I guess. It's very difficult to find real facts, to find absolute truth on this. So there's a lot of legends and stories going around about this, but I can't really find verifiable facts to give you the absolute truth of what's going on here. So I'm just going to tell you what I've learned, what I've heard from hearsay, what I've read online at various different posts, and a lot of things contradict themselves, but this seems to be the main story, the main legend behind these pink Bosks. So the story goes that in Oritet, Russia, there was a factory that Kenner set up to make, Kenner Hasbro set up to make these figures back in 1995/1996. Well, I guess the factory in Russia didn't actually open until the late 90s, so it probably would have been like 98, 99. And they were sent some molds. They were working on all the different figures. It was not just Bossk. It was a whole bunch of different figures from that Power of the Force line. What we got in 95, 96, they got in 98, 99, okay? Well, the factory closed down in 2001. From what I understand, somewhere around there. Could have been 2002, somewhere in there. Like I said, these dates are not set in stone. Don't think that I'm giving you the absolute fact, the absolute truth, because there's differences depending on which forum you go on, depending on who you talk to in the know. They all seem to know something different. You know what I mean? So no one can really narrow down exactly the facts and exactly the truth. So the story goes, 2001, this factory shut down. The employees went in there, and they actually just took the molds and for Bossk, and they threw in pink plastic for the body and the legs, and then for the arms and feet, they put in the plastic that was used for the arms and feet of Bossk, and they made these pink versions, and they made up X amount. I don't know. Some people say there's like they made 1,000. Other people say they made like 100,000. So who knows if it's 1,000 or 100,000? I can't find a definite number. So the employees made them as like a thing for themselves, and a lot of them just took home 20, 30 of them, whatever, and they were distributing them around the neighborhood as, I guess you could say, bootleg Star Wars figures. It was just kind of like, our last ditch, screw you, the thing's closing down, we're just going to do this on a whim. And they used up the rest of the pink plastic and the plastic that's used for the arms, leg, and head, and molded the weapons out of the same plastic as the arms, legs, and head, and then took them home. And now, 20 years later, they're starting to sell them as bootlegs. They're trickling out into the market as weird bootlegs or weird variations, whatever you want to call it. So the legend said that they were actually made on the same mold in the same factory as a Kenner/Hasbro mold and factory. But as we've seen here, there's a lot of differences. So are those differences like just equated to a different mold was sent to them than what the mold we had here in the States or wherever this was made? China, the release one was probably made in China, right? Yeah, it says Kenner China on the feet. So was that just Kenner China got a different mold and that's why there's some subtle differences? Or is this truly like a figure that they got and they just molded it themselves and the whole story is total bull? you know, that they actually worked at a factory. Like maybe that whole factory bit is total BS. I don't know. You know, it's just difficult to really figure out exactly what's going on here with this figure. But anyways, I mean, I think that's all I've got for you right now on the Pink Bossk. If anyone out there knows any definitive facts, like if someone can go to Oritet Russia and find someone who actually supposedly worked at this factory, you know, because some of this info is actually coming from the guy who sold this to me, and you know, he claims to have firsthand knowledge, but when you go on forums and look at different Star Wars collecting websites about this and everything, you find conflicting information. So I don't know, who do you really trust, you know, in this world when it comes to Star Wars and Star Wars bootlegs. Now this pink one did cost me $20, so they are making a buck off them right now. But because I mean, originally what you would have spent $5 or $6 for the Bossk figure back in the 90s. Right now you might spend $8 to $10 for that Bossk figure. So they're getting about twice what Bossk is going for. They're getting $20 for them right now. But who knows? I mean, this could be one of those weird things that ends up like Blue Snaggletooth, or I mean, I doubt it would be like that, but you know what I mean. It just could be one of those weird oddities. And when I saw them the offer up for $20, I had to get one just because it's such a weird oddity. It's such a strange thing, and it just gives you an interesting thing to talk about that when someone looks at your collection. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a really neat addition to my collection. I'm very happy to have one, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little video on it. Sorry I don't have more information, but I decided to give you what I can give you. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. I'm going to do... I found a Captain Caveman, so I'm going to do Captain Caveman next. If you're a Patreon supporter, you could watch the Captain Caveman video today, because I'm going to put it up for Patreon supporters early, like 2 days early. And the rest of you guys got to wait 2 days for the Captain Caveman. That's the way it goes! Sorry. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.